Good day, I am Xylene Athena Mariano, here to talk about my proposal entitled Silong Luntian. A proposed vertical housing and farming, integrating livelihood and community living through the aspects of ecotecture. The name itself, Silong, refers to the shade that safeguards anything underneath it, combined with the term Luntian, meaning the color green that is often associated with nature. When put together, these two words form Silong Luntian, a place that can provide people with their basic needs, all while being harmonious with nature.
To start off, the project is a low-rise building or LRB housing situated in General Trias, Cavite. The proposed project, with the aim of providing affordable housing, can also be seen as a remedy to reduce housing backlog since 25% of the total needs are accounted for the socialized housing segment according to the Board of Investments. This proposal intends to showcase green spaces such as parks and playground, a place for growing crops, and a marketplace to sell their goods, but most importantly, a residential living space to sustain people's housing needs. Housing, as one of the basic needs, along with food and water, has been one of the most expressed needs and aspirations of the people, especially the urban poor and those belonging to the low-income group. These are some of the major existing problems: rapid population growth, presence of informal settlers, also the conversion of agricultural land, and the unmet housing needs. As a solution, the project aims to achieve an architecture that gives back more than it takes, that defines home as both shelter and food, while providing a quality and affordable housing. This project aims to provide not only the basic needs of the people, such as shelter and food, but it can also provide them jobs while increasing General Trias' economy. To make this project achievable, we have NHA as the client that can support us financially. NHA is the sole national agency mandated to engage in housing production for low-income families. The project is said to be a residential facility that will build an ideal neighborhood and was proposed based on the project objectives and the needs of the client. The scope includes providing a socialized housing that uses innovative architectural approach that are in line with the BP 220 IRR while optimizing the space and budget for the housing project, and also to provide community facilities as required by the NHA. When it comes to the limitations, the project will be focused on providing the housing needs of the lowest 30% of the urban population to avoid monopolizing. The target market users are ISFs or low-income families. Budget restrictions are also one of the limitations of the project. The site is an 8.2-hectare land with a minor road along the middle part of the site. It is surrounded by residential areas on all sides. The minor road is an advantage for direct access to the site. So, going to the SWOT analysis, these are the strengths. The site is located in a southern mixed-use development zone near the Golden Gate Business Park. High in elevation and no recorded flood. Bagong Calzada Road giving direct access on the site. Good type of soil. It also has drainage and a good climate, and it's also surrounded by residential areas. About weaknesses, there is no scenic view, point-to-point tricycle route, noise and air pollution along the Bagong Calzada Road. Strategies are provisions of more suited vegetation for the noise pollution that serves as a buffer and for the scenic view. Opportunities will bring livability to the market and business. Companies often choose new residential clusters for job opportunities. Good type of soil suitable for agricultural crops. For the threats, competitions from other subdivisions on the vicinity. Strategize sustainable and innovative facility that is advantageous compared to other residential nearby. These are the building systems applied in the project. For the environmental systems, we have passive cooling, daylighting, and rainwater harvesting. For the structural systems, flat slab construction in which the absence of beams can reduce the building height, thus lowering the construction cost, all while having a higher ceiling, promoting good air circulation inside the units. For the utility system, smoke detectors and wet pipe sprinkler system is applied. For the electrical systems, prepaid electricity service. For the sanitary systems, sewage treatment plant and material recovery facility are included. For landscape systems, green pavement and urban farming. The design concept used is ecotecture, based on the principle of not harming the environment. The word ecotecture is a combination of the words ecology, meaning the totality or pattern of relations between living organisms and their environment, and architecture. Ecotecture helps people and nature live harmoniously and support together. Nature contributes to the beauty of architectures. The architectures glorify the majestic beauty of nature. The planning concept applied on the site is the idea of the neighborhood unit by Clarence Perry. It is based on the simple principle that one is planning for society. It promotes community-centric lifestyle. By putting the community center at the inner core, while the residential area surrounds it, it gives equal access to all the neighborhood unit. It also promotes walkable and safe community by having most of the necessities inside the community rather than going out of the community. The form concept applied is a gear. A gear cannot function alone, just like how everything inside the community are essential to the people themselves are needed for it to operate, thus making the community sustainable. The designer believes on the saying of Philip Cortelyou Johnson, "All architecture is shelter. All great architecture is the design of space that contains, cuddles, exalts, or stimulates the person in that space." To further explain, one can easily create a shelter, but to make it greater, it has to make you feel something, may it be excitement, comfort, or anything. Here are the set of design considerations applied. So these are the steps on how the project is planned on-site. First is considering the best orientation of the project from the behavior present in the site. Next is defining the main possible entry. After the possible entry, allocating the zoning and layout of major spaces. Right after the analysis of the building, zones, and layout of major spaces, the massing of the project shall now be ready for translation. Form translation starts on layouting and allocating zones. Next is the allocation of pedestrian circulation, including road networks. Next is analyzing the sun and the wind orientation. After considering the circulation and the sun-wind orientation, development phase is ready. Next is designing the entire site development. And lastly is the finished model, detailed site development. These will be the design features of the project. Starting from the architectural character, the designer uses minimalism, which promotes clean geometric horizontal and vertical lines, uniformity, depth, and visual interest with asymmetry and color. Minimalist home exterior aims to create a visually uncomplicated home. And then the innovations. The designer uses SoundGuard, the world's first soundproofing paint in the interior, which was specifically developed to reduce or eliminate sound transmissions through walls and ceilings. It is scientifically proven to reduce sound transmission through interior walls by an average of 90%, making it the closest thing to soundproof paint that has ever been created. And on the exterior, the designer uses weather-bound solar reflect, In essence, water beads form and roll off easily or simply do not stick at all on the coating. Owing to its extreme resistance to rain, mud, stains, and dirt, the coated surface will stay dry and clean. This new technology will help urban communities reduce their environmental footprint through a significant reduction in the energy and chemical detergents used in building maintenance. Other innovations include grasscrete, rainwater harvesting, concrete recycling, and permeable pavement. The major highlights of the project are the radial arrangement and the sloping bridge. The radial arrangement of the residential buildings around a central axis and the symmetry makes the residents have equal access to every part of the community. The sloping bridge, with a ratio of 1:12, connects the community to one another. It serves as a pedestrian access while also giving the residents a place to exercise, jog, and ride a bicycle. Since it is a gradual slope, PWDs are also given the equal opportunity. It promotes safe and walkable community. With regards to project cost, following the 17-line cost generates a total of 1.8 billion pesos for the project cost. Summary of the residential building plan. The project consists of 22 5 stories LRB low-rise buildings, which is the maximum number of floors without an elevator according to BP 220. One floor consists of one PWD unit and the rest is Type A unit. Second floor to fifth floor consist of Type A units, so 60 units for every LRB, having a total of 1,320 units overall, accommodating approximately 6,000 residents. PWD unit and Type A unit has enough ventilations. The designer provides two layouts on the Type A unit for visual representation depicting the flexibility of the space. One layout is one bedroom and the other is two bedrooms. As for the other areas and buildings provided, the designer refers to the standard community facilities based on land area provided by the NHA.
This brings us to the end of the presentation. Thank you.